Hello? Why does he say it like that? Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Well, my friends, the time has come to watch Twilight and have no fun. No way. Some work to be done. Let the cringiness play on, play on, play on. Everybody sing, everybody dance. Everybody take off your pants. We going to... Wait, don't do that. Yeah, Twilight. Why am I doing this? Well, you voted for it. I put it on a poll. And you voted for it over the Jake Ryan. That's Hannah Montana. The Jack Ryan movies and the other franchise I don't remember. Oh, The Howling, which I thank you for that. The Howling is werewolves, and that's a lot of movies to do. And I've found out recently I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of stuff this summer. But we are here with Twilight. Oh, joy. Yes, finally, I'm kind of relieved you guys picked this. I can finally just get these out of the way. So what is my history with the Twilight movies? Well, I saw it back when it first came. I rented it from Family Video on the DVD. So I watched it back then just to check it out. And I'll even say now, watching it, it very much is one of those young adult book movies like the number 4, I Am Number 4, or Aragon, or stuff like that came out around that time. The Vampire's Assistant. That it feels like one of those kind of movies. Very dramatic, very stylistic, all that stuff. Dialogue is cringy as hell. There's some dialogue in this where I just go, what? I give you an example of it. Hello? Why does he say it like that? But yeah, it's one of those kind of movies. But this caught on like somebody's pants on fire because this was everywhere. Suddenly they were making the sequels, which, by the way, in case you didn't know, they did not have a deal to produce any sequels. They just were producing this one. And because of the massive success, this movie cost $37 million to make, and the box office was $412 million. You're getting those sequels. Because of the massive box office, based on this one, they're like, oh, we gotta do the other ones. So they secured New Moon, Eclipse, and then decided Harry Potter did it. Let's put the last one into 2. And much like Harry Potter, those movies feel disjointed as hell. The first one is all the build-up, the second one is all the payoff, and it don't work as 2 different films. We'll get to those. But this is what started it all. And this is the only one that I actually saw that I actually didn't see in theaters. The other ones I did see in theaters. My sister was really into this. She had all the books. She read them a bazillion times. My grandma was a big book reader. She read all of these. And so I didn't go with them to see this one, but I went to them to see the sequels. All of the sequels we went to the theater to see. Me, my grandma, my sister, and my grandma's best friend, we all went to see together. So I saw them all in theaters. I'm a big go to the movie theater and see movies kind of guy, which I would still be doing if we still had movie theater. Thank you, COVID. But yeah. And I only knew Kristen Stewart from Zathura the year before, I think it was. Or the 2 years before this. But I asked this Zathura girl. And I thought she was cute back then, But I'm just like... Then Twilight came along and proved to me she can't act. I mean, she's been in other projects and has done better. It's like everyone in this movie was told, don't act. And read the dialogue in the most dumbest way possible. So Robert Pattinson is a great actor. But if you base it off of this movie, you go, how does he still keep getting jobs? There's so much so many bad acting choices in this, where it's just like, it's ridiculous. The story is about Bella Swan, who moves from Arizona to a small town in Washington to live with her father. The small town that took about 5 seconds to figure out the name of, when Stephanie Meyer was writing a book. I need a name for this town. Small town, I don't know what to call it. Her agent or publisher or something comes in. Someone, we have lunch for you. Or maybe I'm gonna have lunch. She goes in the drawer. That's it. Forks. Of all the dumbass names you can come up with, Forks. And I swear to God, if it's a real town, I will throw myself out the window. Because there's no way. She took 2 seconds to figure it out. She looked down. Forks. She moves there where it rains most of the time. Right? With her dad, Charlie. The first line of this movie, I never thought much of how I would die. But somehow sacrificing yourself for someone else seems like a good way to go. Okay, so one of my big problems with this movie, and I don't think it's in any of the other movies, the narration. It sucks. Because they have her read it in the most boring way. I never thought of how I never really thought of how I would die. But sacrificing yourself for someone else. My dad is Charlie. Why did she say it like that? My dad is Charlie. This is Charlie. He's my father. I'm going to live with my father. I'm going to live with my father. His name is Charlie. Why does she have to say it? My father is Charlie. And it continues through this movie. There's the dialogues, the narration that she does. And like, why is there a narration in this movie? It's because there's one in the book. Doesn't mean you need to translate that directly onto film. You know what I mean? She's going to live with her father, Charlie, who I realized watching is the most normal person in this entire fucking franchise. Because he's actually acting. Someone didn't give him the memo that you're not supposed to act. Because he's the only one that's actually... Well, he's a little bit off, but like... I don't know. Billy Burke is doing a pretty good job. You know? Yeah. Why is it highlighted? You gotta be fucking kidding me. It's a real town. Forks, also previously known as the unincorporated town of Twilight, is a town in southwest Calhoun County, Washington. It's a real town. It's a real town. Why would you name it Forks? Why? So she's moving to town because her mother has remarried to a guy named Phil, a minor league baseball player and they're going to Florida, I think. And she keeps talking about Jacksonville, so I don't know. And she, meets up with her dad, and then we meet her dad's friend Billy, the Quileute Indian Native American. Excuse me, it says Indian on there. And he brings his nephew Jacob, Taylor Lautner, who married a woman named Taylor, so her name is now Taylor Lautner. Interesting fact. Anyway, he's got a horrible wig on, and I'm just like, I've seen him with regular hair. He was Shark Boy in Love. He was in Shark Boy and Love a Girl. Why did they put this terrible wig on him? I know a Native American stereotype is long hair. I get it. And you find out later it's to cover for the fact that eventually he's supposed to look homely. You could tell all the women from all the young girls back then, he was one of the most attractive guys in these franchise. Okay? I'm just saying. Jacob Black. And yeah, we get the most. This I went. This is not how a teenage girl would act. So they come over because they fixed up this truck for Bella, and her reaction to this is that she's like the most excited she's in this entire movie. She's like, "Oh, you're kidding me! Wow, yeah!" And I'm like, no teenage girl would look at this old, rusty POS truck and think, "Yay, I got a car." No teenage girl would look at that. I know it's all about, taking what you're given and all that stuff, but no teenage girl in their right mind would be happy about that kind of a truck. But nonetheless, she takes it and she goes to school. And school must be like Cheers because everybody knows her name. Somehow. They never explain it. It was like, "Hey, you're Bella, right? Hey, you're Bella. You're Bella. You're new here. You're Bella." How do everyone know her name? And we'll take a look at, we have Cam Gigante as, no, that's not the right one. Isn't that James? Come on. Michael Welch, who I've seen before in other things. Let me take a look and see what it is. I've seen him in his films. He's in Twilight. They're in all the Twilight movies. I thought they disappeared after the. He's not in the last one. Mouse Cold Case. I don't see anything I would know him, but he's one of those guys. He's been in something before, like you've seen him. But I don't. There it is. He was young Jack O'Neill with 2 L's in Stargate SG-1. That's what I know him from. That's definitely where I know him from. And he plays Mike, who immediately has a thing for her. We have Justin Chan as Eric. His last name is Yorkie. His last name is a dog. And I know him from the Nickelodeon show, It's Just Jordan. It's Just Jordan. It's Just Jordan. Already. Where he played Tony. And I remember watching, I was like, "Hey, that's Tony from Just Jordan." I know him. You have, is that it? Where's the other ones? Anna Kendrick, who from Pitch Perfect and all that stuff. This is like one of her first roles. Since she's Bella's first friend. She plays Jessica. And then we have Christian Serratos as Angela. And she was Susie Crabgrass from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. So I remember her. And I recognized her with Susie Crabgrass. She had like glasses on and stuff. She's the nerd. And as they're all sitting at the lunch table together on the first day of school, and then she doesn't know any of them, but they're all just sitting there, we meet the Cullens. Yes, the Cullens. More cast review. They reveal that Dr. and Mrs. Cullen fostered 5 children. And they're also together. And they have this whole conversation of, is that right? It just, you can't be legal, and but they're not blood related. But they still live together. And we meet Emmett and Rosalie, played by Kellen Lutz and Nikki Reed, respectively. And they're the 2 oldest. And then there's Alice and Jasper, played by Jackson Rathbone and Ashley Green, respectively. And then there's Edward, played by Robert Pattinson. And somebody knows this time is one of the girls at the lunch table talks about how, he's always alone. And then it cuts to him and he smiles. No one knows why, he smiles. I'm like, he heard that. He heard them say that. Vampire ears and all that. Yeah. And it's like, she's all confused as to why, you know, why they're so weird and reclusive. And my question after watching this movie was, how has no one else ever questioned these people who walk around all weird and freaky looking? No one else has questioned them. She's the first because she's an outsider. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But she has biology class. And oh, look at that. They only see this next to Edward. But she's stinky. She's stinky. Well, if you know he's a vampire, which you know because of these movies, you know it's her scent that's messing with him. And he acts like he's he's gonna throw up. He goes to request that he's not in the class, but everything else is full, so he's gonna have to deal with it. And so they talk in class, to which he goes, looks at her, and he says, "Hello." Why does he say it like that? Why did you say it like that? Hello? Maybe this is his first time trying to use a American accent, but it comes off weird. Just weird. They kind of talk a little bit, and she may have a little thing for him, who knows? But, yeah. And that's one of the cute key scenes in this that everyone kind of points out. It's one that the vampires suck, made fun of, but yeah. We also find out that there are strange animal attacks. People are being killed in strange animal attacks. And I think at first you're supposed to believe that it's the Cullens, unless you read the book. And I think they should have drawn it out more than they did. Because you have one, maybe two animal attacks, and then we see the third one, and it's the not Black Eyed Peas, with Victoria James and Le Fou, or whatever I called him back then. Not Lestat. That's not... Laurent. It's not a name. To be fair, he does say he's 300 years old. And they're played by Cam Gigadet, Edie Cathey, you may know from the My Bloody Valentine remake, or maybe X-Men First Class. And then there's Rachelle Lefevre, who I know from Big Wolf on Campus. Yes. And they attack this dude. And I watched it and I go, I thought he was the dad from David DeLuise. I thought it was David DeLuise from Wizard of the Place, and I remembered, that's Vampires Suck. He was the guy in that one that gets attacked, calls them Black Eyed Peas and offers them Cheetos. Yeah, I mixed up the scenes. But yeah. And we get the other key scene. I might be jumping around. But Bella is in we get hints like, oh, he's not at school one day, and then, she's in the parking lot getting ready to go to a truck, and this random dude who she apparently knew, I think it's the dude who runs up and kisses her and goes, "My girl," or something, early on in the film. He does it so quickly I don't pay attention to him, but he almost hits her, and then Edward super speeds in and stops it, and she's like, whoa. And she's taken to the hospital for some reason. She was not hurt whatsoever. She's taken to the hospital. I guess she goes with that guy that was in there. He's like, "Sorry, Bill, I didn't see you. I didn't see you." I like how her dad's taking her license away. It was an accident, but okay. And then she confronts Edward. He has the lamest excuse ever. "How'd you get over there?" "We were talking about I was staying next to you." Okay. Even if she believed you were standing next to her, how far are you able to stop a truck by doing this? Even if you were standing right next to her and you did this, your arm would be broken. You'd both be smushed into peas. You'd be smushed peas right now because there's no way you'd be able to stop the truck. the van from smushing both of you. The most you could have done if you were right next to her is to tackle her or pull her to the side, which one of you still would have gotten hit by the van. Because you're not that fast if you're just standing next to her. So his excuse makes no sense. And then, like, he's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I want you to go away. And, yeah. And then, like, there's a whole thing where everyone's going to go to the beach. And I just got back from the beach. Beautiful beach. And when they're on the beach, Jacob is there. She invited Edward, but no one showed up, and he's like, "Oh, they don't come here. Actually, there was a pact a long time ago with my Indian tribe, Native American tribe, whatever, and they say we're descended from wolves, but I don't believe that. And their tribe is descended from something else, and they made a pact they would not cross the beach, blah blah blah. So they're not there on the reservation." I do like when she's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "You're on my reservation, remember?" And then, like, she goes, they're going to go to the prom, but she's not going to the prom. Mike asked her to the prom. I feel bad for Mike. Because, like, Mike asked her to the prom. And then, like, Jessica has a thing for him, so they end up going together. So they got Jessica and Angela. Angela! Why did I just do that now? Had to go get dresses. And they bring her along for some reason, even though she keeps saying she's going to go to Jacksonville and not go to the prom. But, yeah, and she's decides to just walk off in the middle of this, and she's harassed by a bunch of grown-ass men until she's saved by the Fast and the Furious. Oh, no, it's Edward zooming in there. Get in the car. And then he, like, looks at him mean, and they're like, and he gets in the car, he's like, "You need to talk me down. You need to talk me down. Talk about anything else right now." Was there not a better way they could convey that he has vampire anger issues? By the way, they haven't explained shit. And then he lets it slip that he can read their minds. You don't know what the guys were thinking. You do? I know the type. He tries to write it off. But, yeah. So then the next day we get another key scene where they're in the woods and we get more cringy dialogue. I know what you are, because she was doing research. Say it. Say it out loud. I think... How else would you say it but out loud? That line makes no sense. Say it. Say it out loud. There's no other way to say something out loud, so... Vampire. And then we get the piggyback ride through the forest. And... yeah. So... and he tells her that he only consumes animal blood, which I want to point out, they say they're vegetarians. That's not what vegetarian means. Consuming animal blood also makes you still a carnivore. That's not what vegetarian means. But I guess for vampires it does. And then we get the scene that made a million vampire film enthusiasts go, "Fuck this, I'm out." Because throughout the film, they're shown that they do not show up during sunny days. Because you know they're vampires. But the reason that Stephenie Meyer decided to give for this is fucking stupid. Because you see, it's not like the traditional vampire thing where if you get in the sun they go, poof! No. No. They're like Thomas the fucking the fucking tank engine. Because when they get in the sun, they go, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle! Yeah, this is something I've never liked. And the first time I saw this, I went, what the fuck are they doing? He's going to the sun, and I'm like, dude, you go into the sun, you're going to die. You just want her to see you explode? And then they showed it, I'm like, nah, that's fucking stupid. stupid. What is that? And then you have another cringy line. It's the skin of a killer. Keanu Reeves and Bram Stoker's Dracula was more believable than this dialogue. I know where the bastard sleeps. Carfax Abbey. And to be fair, he only gets worse when he looks all old and shabby in the second half of the film. The first half, he's fine. But, oh, this dialogue. So yeah, now she knows he's a sparkly vampire. Whoopee. So what's the next step? Oh, I'm going to introduce you to my family. Oh, by the way, Jasper, he's the newest one of us, and he could also snap at any moment. We're not going to do anything with that to the next one, but you just got to watch it. Why would you do that? Why would you introduce... There's also no explanation to any... He can read minds, and Alice can read the future, but nobody else has powers. We met Dr. Cullen earlier. Carlisle Cullen. There's a name. Played by Peter Fasinelli. And Esme, played by... His wife, Esme, played by... I had it. Elizabeth Reeser. What else was she in that I know her of? Oh, she was in Ouija Origin of Evil. Yes. She was the mom in that one. Yes. So I guess they all have powers. Remember, Alice can see the future. Emmett is the strongest. That's not... Vampires have strength anyway. Rosalie... She's the most beautiful person in the world. Okay. And Jasper can manipulate emotions. Okay. I don't know how that works. Also, Rosalie and Jasper have the same surname. So are they actually related? Why do they have the same surname? Everyone else has Cullen, and they're both Hale. I don't get it. Those who read the books. Does it ever explain? Oh, Belle's mother lives in Arizona. Why does she want to go to Florida then? Why is this woman... whatever. So... yeah, but everything is fine, but they're not sure, they know there's going to be explosives, and she's like, oh, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. And so then she's gonna go play baseball with the Cullens, because it's a day where it's gonna be cloudy, and town it's always cloudy, so they're gonna all play baseball. Which Charlie is confused because Bella's never once talked about baseball, but here she is. I'm gonna play baseball. Everything is going fine until... By the way, I feel it is unfair for a human to play baseball with a bunch of vampires who are stronger and faster than she is, but here we are. It's fine till the not Black Eyed Peas show up. Oh, before I get there, I want to talk about the scene at which Edward, because he's old school, he's centuries old, talks and he wants to introduce himself. I'm going to introduce himself and tell him to play baseball. It's another cringy dialogue. Baseball. Really? It's just like, can we cut? Can we move on? But, okay, so this baseball scene makes no sense to me. The non-Black Eyed Peas show up. Wait, I'm going to call them that. And they show up. And... and they're like, hey, do you mind if we play? And they're like, sure. And I'm like, but before they show up, like, stay downwind so they don't smell you. And it's like, how long did you think you were going to keep this up? So as soon as they move, the wind moves with them, and James smells her, so he freaks out. I see you brought dinner. I see you brought a snack or something like that. So they fight it off, and then it's like, okay, we can't stay here no more. We gotta leave. So she has to act like a total bitch to her father, so that she leaves. And yeah, I do like when she's in the truck and someone jumps on the back. It's just Emmett. So they use Rosalie and Alice with clothes that have her scent on it to confuse him. What is James's power? Because she's able to figure out pretty quickly. James. A gifted tracker due to his unparalleled senses. So he just has super senses. So they're trying to draw James away from Bella, but he tracks her to Phoenix. What is Florida then? She's there hiding with Jasper and Alice. And James tricks her into thinking that he kidnapped her mother by mistake. I do like the trick where she hears like the noise, she opens the thing. You know, this is my favorite part. Like the whole ballet studio thing. It was a ruse, of course, and so he attacks her and infects her with vampire venom. Not necessarily a thing, but I guess. There's the whole thing where there's different ways to be turned. There's a vampire bite where if not treated right, you could turn, or they have to bite you and then you drink their blood, or you just drink their blood. It's different in every iteration. But like there's vampire venom. I've never heard of that till this. And so you think, oh, this is cut and dry. Edward's going to have to suck her blood to get the venom out, and she's going to turn to a vampire. Nope, we wait 3 movies for that shit. 4, technically. Yeah, it's the very end of the 4th one, she turns into a vampire. We waste so much time with this turn me vampire. No. Turn me vampire. No. Turn me vampire. No. Why we waste 3 movies with this? Just do it already. But like, at one point, they are told they have to do it, and he still says, no. They say you have to do it, or they're going to kill her. No. How stupid are you? Well, we'll get to that. It's stupid. They're wasting so much time with this. With books, you can do that because it's a book series, but with movies, you cannot. But you have to stretch it out because that's how many books there are. And if you do other things like putting 2 books together, it's, it's foreboding. So what do I know? So they kill the fuck out of him. They decapitate him. I do like it when they decapitate them. They turn into stone almost. I do like that. And they burn him. And then that removes the venom from Bella's wrist. So it stops her from becoming a vampire. But I feel like him sucking her blood would also turn her. I don't know. So then Bella goes to prom with Edward. And this is where Mike should be like, fuck you, bitch. You said you weren't coming here. So I took Jessica, which is good because I like Jessica now. But you told me you were going to come here because you're going to Florida. You're not in Florida. And again, there's more dialogue of, I want you to turn me into a vampire. No. And it looks like he's going to and then stops. Does nobody see him? Like, nobody sees him do that? But, yeah. And, unbeknown to them, Victoria is watching. Then it turns black and white and goes to credits. And there's one big issue I have with this very end of this movie. One, it takes too long to get there. But also, most importantly, why doesn't she just run in there, break the bitch's neck, and run back out? Apart from Edward being able to sense her, read her mind, and tell that she's coming, she could get in there quick enough to push him on his ass, knock him on his ass, break her neck, and then zoom off again before anyone else notices. Also, Jacob is also there for some reason, and because we got to show there's tensions between the two of them, which are going to go on to the sequel. Yeah. Yeah. It just feels like one of those young adult movies that would come out around this time. But this movie just blew up. And we got all the movies. And the Hunger Games did that too. But like then there was Divergent, which you never got all the movies. And I'm sorry, if you were set out to make these movies, I don't care what your box office for the third film in a franchise that's part one of the third book in the series, by the way. You finished that shit. I'm sorry, I don't care what your box office is. You finished that shit. It's like the Chronicles of Narnia movies. They stopped at 3. No, you finished that shit. And now Greta Gerwig's going to ruin them. One, she's not covering them in order. Chronologically, she's doing the Silver Chair and Magician's Nephew, whatever one's first. And they're just like, that's not the one you do first. Chronologically it is, but that's not the first book. You do the first book first. I don't care about chronological order. That movie's gonna fucking bomb because it's not the first book. Everyone knows The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. No one's going to log on or subscribe to Netflix for the Silver fucking Chair of the Magician's Nephew. Okay? It's fucking stupid. We gotta start chronologically. But it's not where people know the books from. That's why Disney didn't start with those. Because they knew The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was one of the more popular ones to do. One time, but they started out fine. So what do I give Twilight? I'll give it a very low. Pretty good. It's fine. Like I said, it's fine. Same thing I said when I first watched it. No, it's okay. It's fine. You know, it's nothing to write home about. I'm not going goo goo gaga for these movies, but as a start to the franchise, it works. It's fine. As the franchise goes on, however, the last one did not need to be 2 parts. We'll get to it. So what are your thoughts on Twilight? Look out, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.